Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekly video sessions. Today, I'm going to cover STI performance and those recently bullish counters like SIA, SETS, DBS, OCBC, and UOB, and look at the chart where they are heading next, potentially. And we're going to cover our stocks in the technological sectors, the property sectors, and let's go and look at the SDI chart right now. So let me just pull off the chart and then let's discuss where STI is going to be. So we can see the performance of STI today as it opened above its resistance over here. So this is a resistance to break and it opened higher. And at one point of time, it actually hit a high of 3,000 before selling pressure comes in to push it and close below its resistance. So technically, this is not a good sign. Why? Because traditionally, a higher opening and lower closing is actually a sign of bearishness. And of course, using example, you can see that this happened to SCI recently in the month of February, and SCI went down after that. So where would STI be? Now, the support level for STI is actually at this level 2921. And I'm hopeful that STI don't hit that level. Why? Because once it hit that level, it may start to change its trend. So what I would like to see if STI is going to be bullish for the whole month of March. We will see STI start to pull back, yes, but it holds at this level rebound and start to go up and retest the level of 3,000. And this is at the point where it may struggle a little bit, then it start to break out again to to go to the high at 3017. So by doing so, we will see that the STI maintain its uptrend with higher lows and higher highs, and ensuring that the whole month of March is bullish. So let's see whether STI can perform accordingly. Now, let's talk about the stocks that are recently bullish. So with STI having such a performance today where it shows some bearish signs, what does it mean to the blue chips, especially our banking sectors? So you can see that DBS following STI had a higher opening and also had a selling down as it closed lower. So this is a sign of selling, and if this re repeats again, okay, so if you look at this circle over here, whereas this DBS had a higher opening and lower closing, and it led to some selling before it start to recover. So we can see that this the same type of candle has formed, and if it really led to a pullback, let's see that this level at 2643 would hold. So if it holds as a support and rebound upwards, so this time I will expect the resistance now is at 2734. Okay, so let's look at how the DBS will perform. So similarly, OCBC would be the same as well, because usually we don't see the banks will move alone higher or lower. So similar type of candles, higher opening and lower closing. So a black candle at the top. And if the pullbacks really happen, let's see whether OCBC can hold at this level at 1091. Once it holds at 1091, let's see that it can start to rebound and break above this resistance. And this resistance right now is at 1021. Sorry, 1121. I beg your pardon, 1121. And once it breaks out from that 1121 resistance, uptrend resume. So we have for UOB as well. Okay, higher opening, lower closing, very similar. All have the same type of candle as the STI close lower, because these three banks actually leads the STI. So similarly, if we have a pullback towards 2468, here, then we can see some support at this region, and when the bank start to rebound from that level, from a new minor support, and once it retests its resistance over here at 25.38 and break out from it, the uptrend resumes. So let's wait for the low for our second entry, especially for those who have been eyeing the bank to buy as when they pull back. Okay, now let's touch on SIA. So you can see all these bullish counters having SIA sets and DBS OCBC having higher opening but lower closing. So all this seems to represent that market likes to take profit after a strong upward movement. Okay, so if SIA were to pull back, let's see whether this level at 505 can hold as a support. If it fail to hold as a support, SIA may have to look for the next low, which is around 478 to 485, to form a higher low. Hopefully it can do so. Okay, so at this point of time, all these levels are just purely based on the previous traded levels where the market has a strong impression at this level traded, where it had been previously broken, and when levels that are broken at will have a very strong impression to the traders, and it tends to turn out to be support level. So this is what we call resistant broken turn support. So let's see whether SIA can hold at 505. If not, 478 and 485 may present another opportunity for us. So for sets, no doubt it closed lower, but it still looked like a consolidation over here. And then the best scenario is for sets to break out 455 immediately to close and test at this level 463. So if it can hit to say 463, 464, uptrend would continue. Right now, let's look at the other sectors that may be coming up. So we see some of the sectors has been downbeaten, like for example the commodities, like the counters like Wilmar. Um, despite good results, it start to pull back. So now it is trading at uh, zone support level. So you can see from this zone, all these higher lows are support level. So this become a zone support. And for Wilmar, once it's bullish, it will pierce above its 20-day MA over here. So we can see very clearly this 20-day MA. Once it pierces above this level, the resistance to watch is here. And if this movement is together with the others pump counters, it will be stronger. So for example, if you look at first resources, this counter right now is sitting at this 100 and 200-day MA support, and it has formed the second hammer over here. Yesterday formed a hammer, but no confirmation. But today formed another hammer. So if tomorrow has a confirmation, we shall see a white candle over here, and this may lead to a rebound towards 156. Now, of course, if first resources can end up as a white candle, then Wilmar ends above its 20-day MA, then we can see the commodity sector starts to rebound. Now, similarly to Bumi Tama Agri, excuse me, so we can see that there are some candle patterns suggesting that it should rebound from this oversold region. So we need a white candle confirmation so that it can bring this counter back to at least 50 cents, okay, around this region. Right, and then we have Golden Agri. It doesn't really have any sell down. It actually managed to hold at its recent high, and now it needs a breakout above 198. Then trading above 20 cents will be a bonus for it. As it goes above 20 cents, we can see that 21 cent will be its resistance, and that can mean a continuation of uptrend for this counter. Okay, so we really need a breakout so that it can turn all the bullish, all the indicators bullish. Especially you can see MACD is sticking to a signal line, the MACD line is sticking to a signal line, and once it appears above, then we can see it split up and it turn bullish. Now, the tech counters like Ventures, UMS, Franken, Valuetronic, right? And then of course the big shot is AEM, and all these counters are all trading at the low. If you can see, so the AEM trading at the low at the support level. Okay, and we have Venture trading at its low as well, where its support level is at 1990, and seemingly it has broken it. So the next support will be 1879. UMS is trading at its 100-day MA support, and Franken just right above its 100-day MA. So all these tech counters has been oversold and has gone down pretty much. So we can keep it on watch this and watch for the formation of a base pattern, where once the sector rotation is over in this market, we have seen funds rotated to the transport sectors. So once trading at that site is over, so the funds may rotate back to the tech sectors. But one green spot or one bright spot is on this counter, where we have nano firm. Okay, so you can see nano firm very strongly went up to test its downtrend resistance. So once this counter break out above this downtrend resistance, we can see more potential upside. So this upside can bring this counter back to around 540 or even higher. If you were to look at the weekly chart, the weekly chart shows that this counter is forming a huge flag over here. And of course, we will not want to speculate what happened, because if a breakout were to happen, wow, could it be a projected target at 754? That is a far-fetched, but I would say that let's do it step by step. Let's see whether this counter can break out and hit 547 first. Okay, now one thing to note is that most of all these counters have announced a good result. For UMS especially, other than the impairment losses, their core business has been growing tremendously. So this makes me wonder that they use this period to do a write down of the impairment losses. Is it a strategical one so that they can move forward to report even better sets of results next quarter? So let's see whether this really happen. So of course the chart will tell us. And then the before we talk about the property sectors, the other counters that I actually featured in my email. So for those who have been getting my email regularly, you will probably see iFast today, and iFast have an entry at this 583 level, and today it has broken up its downtrend line as well. So if I were to switch to weekly charts, we can see a nice rebound, and this white candle actually already eaten up the black candle. So the buyer has already sort of like overwhelm the seller or erase or cancel out the seller. But of course, today is just the second day of the week. So the end of the week is fairly more important. So we want to want to see where iFast will close. So if iFast close at this level, 613 or even higher, 637, then this will be a even better sign. Now let's cover the final sector, which is the property sector. So the property sectors has also been hit with the impairment losses. So like for example, CapitaLand went into red because of valuation. But if you look at CapitaLand, the chart seems to be okay because it's still within the Bollinger Squeeze and is above its 20-day MA. So once CapitaLand can break above its 50-day MA and have a Bollinger Squeeze breakup, of course, we do expect higher movement, and the ultimate resistance to see is 351. City development, after announcing the impairment losses, it came to be a sort of like not a surprise to the market because they have been providing a progressive update. So the fundamental wise is still relatively strong as their cash on hand is still strong. So now, where do we expect this blue chip going? So we have a resistance at 775, and then we see today after higher opening, it started to close lower. So seemingly some profit taking going on. Now, the potential of an uptrend remains intact if this counter can rebound tomorrow to hit this level at 775. So once it breaks out above this level and hit back to $8 and above, then uptrend continue. So let's see whether it can immediately do so, or it may take some time to consolidate around this region before it breaks out to go to the higher level. Okay, then we have UOL resting at support level. There's a gap over there due to its results because of the pandemic write-off. So there's a gap over here. So once you fill up the gap, there might be some changes. So the important thing is to break this resistance. So this resistance over here is around 753. And so far, the better performance come to this Hong Kong land. So Hong Kong land, despite some selling pressure over here, today managed to close at a decent level, and most importantly, is a white candle. So, but we cannot afford to have upper shadow continuously, because continuous upper shadow will lead to more weakness. So hopefully tomorrow is a white solid candle above 490, then we can see Hong Kong land moving above $5 or even to 520. Okay, so if I were to do a technical projection, right, it's not 100%, but roughly we can see where the stocks is heading around 516 level. Okay, so with this, it comes to the end of my video. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and then you can share around, feel free to share around with friends. And for those who are interested to recommend your friend to open an account with me, really appreciate your help if you can do so. And of course, Lim and Tan do offer some referral benefits, and of course, new account benefits. First month, trade 3 times, get $200 worth of vouchers. So all these are, some of the advantage you can, take for recommending friends. All right. So with this, I'll see you next week. Hope you enjoyed the video. Good night, and have a good week ahead.